Hello and welcome to Banking Frontiers Live. I am Sneha Agrawal and I am here to introduce you to one of the leading lady luminaries from the BFSI sector for the occasion of International Women's Day. Today I am introducing you to Jaya Janardhan ma'am. Welcome ma'am.
Thanks so much. So I've been a banker for the last 27 years, heart and heart a banker throughout. Uh, Started my career with a foreign bank called Mashreq Bank, went on to do a larger stint in ICICI Bank, and then worked with banks like Dhanlakshmi, JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. So while throughout my career I have been in banking, uh, there are some areas that I have actually worked on building my expertise, and that's largely in the area of banking operations, technology, and digital. And the other big piece that I've also worked on is on the customer service piece.
So today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, that is risk taking and how it has helped ma'am advance her career. So ma'am, what are the 2 to 3 big risks that you have taken that have made a contribution in your professional career?
So, Sneha, my career has always been a risk. I've only taken risk in my career, and that's something that if you ask me, to have I taken it knowingly or have I taken it unknowingly? I started taking it unknowingly, but now I take it very knowingly. So that's the difference. My biggest two risk in my life, I'll tell you. I joined ICICI when I joined ICICI in the corporate banking group, and corporate banking those days were the happening piece in the industry, and I was very comfortable, managing the credit appraisals and all that. And suddenly there was this sudden, development in the organization saying that we should go retail, and we should go retail in a big way. And to build retail, you need to actually build capabilities, skill, and the setup should be done. And there was those days we had a very senior official of ICICI Bank who used to lead the retail the division. So he actually put up a note in the front office saying that those who are interested in being part of the retail group, please contact me. So I see this and I walk into his room and I say, "Sir, I would like to join this." And he said, "You are in a corporate setup. Why do you want to kind of come into retail?" I said, "Sir, it's something very different. I think I should try something very different." He said, "Okay." And he said, "Okay, I'll connect back to you once we start work." And a week later, he comes to me and he says, there is something called as dematerialization setup that is happening, and demat of shares. I said, okay. He said, we want people to work on that. Believe me, Sneha, I never knew what was dematerialization. I only knew shares, but I never knew what was dematerialization of shares. And that's when the industry actually brought in the concept of dematerialization from the physical to the to the demat mode. And we had to we were located in one building in the Ballard estate over there, with some four of us, with some huge set of shares, with some huge set of papers, and said, this is what will turn digital. Yeah, it took 3 months to understand and put that whole thing in place. And that was quite exciting. That was quite something which was very new. And that's my journey into an area of an unknown. That's the day I took that risk of. And everybody in the organization told me, you don't know what you're walking into. You're actually destroying your career. You had a very settled corporate banking role that you were doing, and you're walking into something which you don't even know what's going to happen. I said, it's okay. I'll try it out. And I had faith in the a leader whom I had approached. That was over. Okay, that's some 4 to 5 months it took. He walks in one day and he says, now we actually need to work on centralization of operations. And I said, what? He said, yeah, we have to centralize operations, and that's going to be the banking industry in the future. And I said, okay. He said, you work 1 week in clearing, and then you come and meet me. I said, okay. And I go and meet him after 1 week, and he says, okay, we have to start. centralization. I said, for what? He said, to centralize clearing. And I said, okay. I was like, okay, there'll be somebody who will help me out and all that. So we walk into this second floor office of Zenith House, and he says, here is a desk, here is a chair, here is a desktop. Start centralization. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, going back, talking to taking threads after the other, working it out. Today, when I left ICICI Bank, it was a 1 million transaction processing centralized operation shop, the first thing of the banking industry, and then it became the happening for every bank. Every bank does centralization, every bank. So I was, today when I look back, I'm saying, if I had not taken that, I would not be in a position that I'm sitting and talking to you today. So that was my, that was the other, that was one of the biggest risks I took in terms moving from a very settled corporate life, corporate banking life to a retail segment.
That's wonderful, ma'am. The transition from being from a well-known place to an unknown environment. That's wonderful. So tell me, what are the lessons that you have learned from these risks?
So the way I look at it, risk is like risk is like a muscle that you need to. So, for example, when you actually work, when you exercise, right? You build your muscles, right? You actually
Yeah.
gain strength. Your muscles start. So it actually there's a lot of effort that you take to actually get yourself fit, and you take that effort. If you tell me what are the two big lessons I have learned, one is you you get into this not without knowing, you get into it consciously. And second is you also have to learn that the pluses and the minuses are yours. You cannot go back and say, I should have not taken it. This is not, and next time when you want to do it, you can't plan to take a risk. That's also there, right? So you have to be very, very clear about that. If something good happens, is yours. If something bad happens, is also yours, and you can't blame anybody else because you are taking that risk. So, and then the other piece which is very critical for you is your self confidence. You cannot have somebody push you into this, because if somebody pushes you into this, you are a failure. So if you're confident of taking the risk, you should take it. If you're not confident, don't even venture into it.
That's a very nice concept. You need to own it before taking the risk. Okay. So, ma'am, how do you overcome the fear that is associated with these risks?
When you actually take a risk, you actually are fully conscious that what you're getting into. So I'll tell you one simple example. uh, when uh, when ICICI Bank actually thought about doing quality initiative in ICICI Bank, they brought in a consultant to help it out with, called as Six Sigma. So I
Okay.
was called and I said, look, Jaya, you actually have to work with the consultants to build the Six Sigma for the bank. So for operations. I said, okay. I said, what is Six Sigma? They said, no, the consultant will explain to you the quality, all that. I said, okay, fine, and all that. And I sat with them. Now, I was immediately contacted by my other colleagues and said, Jay, you know what? You actually are walking the path of destroying your career. I said, why? They said, you can never have a quality stuff in operations, Jaya. That's never for operations. I said, there must be something for which we have got into this. They said, no, 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 you're kind of wasting your time. I said, no, it's okay. If anything goes bad, fine, it's okay. So I go and I work with the consultants. We build the entire quality initiative for ICICI Bank and operations of Six Sigma. We take the quality initiatives to the retail banking. We take the quality initiative to the whole organization as a whole. Okay. Now, when you look back and you think about it, my question was, if you actually had not done it, you would have lost so much in learning if you had listened to your colleagues, right? So when you talk about fear, when you are see, it's a matter of taking the first step. Once you take the first step, you actually are bold enough to take the second step. Okay. Fear comes when you actually are thinking about multiple other things around you and you are not confident of doing that. For me, the cost was, what will happen, right? What will happen? Either the initiative will fail, and you will have to and you will have to go back and do what you're doing earlier. If the initiative goes well, you will be it will go across as a something that is very innovatively created. But also, I'll tell you something else, Sneha. Maybe it may be an inner uh, inner strength I have. I have always been very innovative. Okay, so that innovation has also helped me to take the step of taking the risk, right? So because you want to create something very different, very new, very so when such opportunities come, you actually look forward and try to create it. So the fear comes when you are not confident of yourself. You need to be very confident before you take. Confidence is very critical for taking risk. You can't take a risk if you're not confident. Second is, are you really bothered about what people around you say? Then again there's a fear. What will people say if I don't succeed? No, not required. It's for you. It's yourself, right? There will be 10 people to pull you down, but that doesn't really matter. It's all about being confident and taking that bold step. So, risk is about being confident and also having that courage to take. So, these are very critical for you to get into these, into a risk taking ability. What is risk actually? Actually, risk is actually when you talk about risk in an organization, risk in an organization is typically an unknown, right? You don't know what's going to happen, right? So that's where you talk about operational risk, credit risk, market risk. Risk is an unknown factor. You don't know. And therefore, you actually prepare yourself for it, right? So here also it's a question of unknown. But unless and until you're confident, you will never be able to step into that area.
So confidence is the key.
Very key. Very key.
That's great, ma'am. Also, the point where just not just reading a book, but actually applying it and keeping in mind the important points. That is a very interesting point. I really keep that in mind when I read books further.
Each book has a lot of value add that comes in, actually, Sneha. And as a practice, if you just kind of bookmark it and
Yeah,
highlight it with a pencil or whatever it is, and you can always look back. You don't have to read the whole book again, right? You just pick up
yeah.
those things and apply that to wherever you want it. So that's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Your journey from going from a well-known place to an unknown place by taking risks and inspite others trying to warn you. So that's wonderful because of all your confidence. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. It was a pleasure. And we look forward to having more such conversations with you in the future.
Thank you, Sneha, so much for